we have gotten a lot of things that need to be preserved for generations to come. Jim Crow is used in bending the rails. But why do we bend rails? There's a nickname given to that pump trolley. They call it Olomokuya. That's the nickname given to that pump trolley.
Hello, my people. How una dey? It's your girl Folake Laode from FolakeLaode.com. You all know I bring you exciting, great content weekly. And today it's not going to be different. I am at Legacy Railway Museum in Ebute Metta, Lagos. Well, this historical building preserves lots of treasures that you will love to explore. So what are you waiting for? Come with me. Let's take a tour together and have fun and learn new things. Let's go!
The aim and the objective of having this museum is for our generations to know what we have been having in the past, used by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, so that they'll be able to know. Because there's need for us to know the first, the second, and the third, which means yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So this is where we teach people to know what we have been using in the past by the Nigerian Railway Corporation, what we are presently using, and what we are hoping to use in the future. This place is called Jaekal House. So we named this place Jaekal House simply because the man's name is Mr. Francis Jaekal. He worked for Nigerian Railway for 27 good years as a chief lieutenant. He drove even Queen Elizabeth when he visited Nigeria in 1956. So, and he wrote 3 volumes of book on Nigerian Railway Corporation. It's a very big volumes of book, 3 volumes. To such an extent that even they are still making adequate use of it. The Chinese that is even working on this standard gauge, they're making the use of that book. The book doesn't only talk on Nigerian Railways, even it tells the history of Nigeria itself. So we have chosen that his name should not be forgotten. That's why we have named this place Jaekal House. Yes, the purpose of using this building is just to let people know the type of things that they have been using in those days. So like this building was built for the first general manager of the Nigerian Railway Corporation in 1898. So so we have chosen to use this place so that people can still come to see the type of architectural building we have. Yes, like the outside one, we have something that is called that's a drilling machine. It drills, so we call it an Aptus ray drill. So Aptus ray drill is what is being used by our then forefathers in drilling holes on the rail. So that's the Aptus ray drill. And we still have something that is called a Jim Crow. So Jim Crow is used in bending the rails, but that one is 2 people operate that one by way of turning it to each other. By way of turning it, then that it comes out for it to be able to bend the rails. But why do we bend rails? So we bend rails simply because there's needed, because there are some areas where you get that you see a bit of a sharp bend on the rail line. So we use that one to make the curve. So that's the reason why we have to bend a rail. And we still have something that's a table. That table is a table that they make the buttons. So they are uniform buttons. These uniform buttons It's just the same type of buttons that all the forces use. But there's only the name of the buttons varies. So, and we have a tramway. It's a 2 phases gauge. So that one went across from the Ido, across the marina on the sea. That before, yes. It was used in 1900 to 1930. So, but now they have stopped the use of that. So we have light trains that moves on that one. It's not as heavy as the one we're having now. That's it. Okay. Then after there we have the standard gauge, the narrow gauge. So the narrow gauge is 3 phases, while the standard gauge is 4/8. So the standard gauge is the one that is used everywhere in the world, but we have now started the use in Nigeria. So we have been using the narrow gauge. There are 3 things that makes a rail. These 3 good important things. One is called the saper. The other one is the rail, and we have a clip. So the purpose of the clip is to hold the sapers to the rail for it not to be shaken. So that's the purpose for the clip. And we have granite. So that granite on the track that you see is one, to beautify the rail track, and secondly, they use it in maintaining the track. So that is in case of when the sapers is not properly in order, that is not very balanced. So they use it to repack and make it to be affirmed again. Yeah. So that's that. We also have the pump trolley. So that pump trolley is used then for checking the tracks to make sure that all the tracks is okay before a train can move on it. So we have the technical officer that will sit down in the front, and we have 4 men. That one will be pumping it. As we are pumping it, it's moving. Then the technical man will be checking to see the track that the sapers, the rail, and the clip are together, because they pump that one like this to move. Why this? There's a nickname given to that pump trolley. They call it Olomokuya. That's the nickname given to that pump trolley.
Okay, the way they pump it.
Yes, because it's a very hard work. So then, but those men doing it, then they are very, very happy. Yeah, happy doing it. Then the next one is rail bicycle.
Okay.
So that rail bicycle is used if from a station to the other, they want to quickly send a message across. So they quickly go on the rail bicycle to the other station. It doesn't go beyond the 2 stations.
Okay, it will follow the rail
Yes,
track.
yes, we follow the rail track. So that's why we call it a rail bicycle. So that one doesn't go on the road.
Yeah.
Now we don't have it anymore. So this is the place here where they repair the locomotive before going out before. But we are now having the new running shed. So we are using this place as the museum. So what we have here, we have the steam locomotive here that is being used there. Best of our knowledge, we want to restore this place to be one in Africa, a museum and a tourist attraction. Yes. So that is what we have in mind, this place. So these are the steam locos, the old steam locos. So the other white one there, so that's the Queen Elizabeth entourage coach. So, and at the end there, so we are having the Queen's coach. So there are still some other items to be brought in here. So, but we have just stopped bringing them in for now. So that's the steam loco. There's one which is a rail car. That rail car is powered with an engine, diesel engine. So it's just like a car. There's another one called rail bus. So that rail bus is more longer than the rail car, right? But what we use the rail car for is to change the use of the pump trolley. Because pump trolley is manually operated, and the rail car is yes. So it does the same work to check the track, maintain all the signal equipment along the rail line and the rest. So that's the rail car. Then we have something that is called water column. That's the tall something that has. So water column, because steam locomotive, a locomotive is powered with coal and water. So before it travels, it will go to the water column to collect the water, to fill up the tank with water. Then it must have collected the coal. So that water column is just like a filling station to fill up its tank with water.
Okay, to power the
Yeah, the locomotive.
Okay.
And we have there the buffer stop. Buffer stop is always mounted at every end of any track, but it's mostly found where they normally park, the parking area. If you have been to Ido Terminal, you see a lot of buffer stop. So buffer stop can be found at the district or where we have parking areas for the train, where they have the end. So where there's no end, there's no need for the buffer stop. Legacy, NRC. Because we have a joint committee within Legacy and Nigerian Railway Corporation. Because this place was given to Legacy in perpetuity for them to be able to manage the museum for the Nigerian Railway Corporation. So Legacy is an organization just like an NGO, non-government organization. So we met the Nigerian Railway Corporation and we found it necessary. Through what we saw here, was the time they came to Nigerian Railway Corporation, because we normally have a walkabout. That's something that we call walkabout. So they did the walking about inside the Railway Corporation. And when they got to this place, they found that they have gotten a lot of things that need to be preserved for generations to come to see. Because as things are going on, because if most of those things have gone, nobody will know what they have been using yesterday. For them to know what we are using now and to think of what do we need to use tomorrow. So he found it and they met the then sole administrator. That one is Sir Ilukwe, it's not Chief Ilukwe, so it's now dead. So the sole administrator then. So and he sat and found that, well, we can give you a museum. So they went into an agreement. So this is how Legacy NRC Joint Committee was formed to manage the Nigerian Railway Corporation Museum.